Will only Muslims enter paradise? Or can non-Muslims also enter Jannah? This is one of those questions that is extremely important. But at the same time, it's also one of the most misunderstood topics among Muslims today. And because of the way this topic is often explained, many sincere and intelligent people develop doubts about Islam, doubts about the Quran, and doubts about the justice and mercy of Allah. Some people even stay away from religion completely because they feel the answers they hear don't match the justice that Allah describes in the Quran. So in this video, we are going to discuss this topic carefully, honestly, and according to the Quran itself, because the reality is, many things commonly believed by Muslims are not always explained in the same way the Quran explains them. Now obviously, when Muslims hear verses about disbelief, verses about hellfire, verses where Allah says the disbelievers will remain in Jahannam forever, many people naturally assume that every non-Muslim automatically falls into that category. For example, in Surah Al-Bayyinah, Allah says, "Indeed, those who disbelieve among the people of the book and the polytheists will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein. They are the worst of creatures." Surah Al-Bayyinah 98:6. And yes, verses like this are absolutely true. But the real question is this: who exactly is a kafir in the sight of Allah? Is every non-Muslim automatically a kafir? Because when we study the Quran deeply, we discover something very important. The Quran does not describe a kafir as simply someone born into another religion. Rather, a kafir is someone who recognizes the truth, understands it, realizes it comes from Allah, yet still rejects it out of arrogance, desires, pride, worldly interests, or stubbornness. That is the true meaning of kufr in many Quranic contexts. A person who knowingly rejects truth after recognizing it. And this is a very important difference because many people today may never have truly received Islam in its correct form. Some only see cultural behavior, some only see media, propaganda, some only see extremists claiming to represent Islam, and others may simply never have understood the message properly. Can we honestly say every such person knowingly rejected the truth? The Quran itself shows us that the matter is much deeper than people think. When Allah sent prophets to nations, those prophets came with extraordinary clarity. Allah created circumstances around His messengers where truth became undeniably clear to those directly addressed by them. So when certain people rejected the prophets after fully recognizing the truth, Allah declared them disbelievers, like Fir'aun recognizing Musa alayhi salam, yet still rejecting him out of arrogance. Allah says, "And they rejected them, while their souls were convinced thereof, out of dhulm and arrogance." Surah An-Naml 27:40. Notice this carefully. Their hearts were convinced, they knew, but they still rejected. This is very different from someone who is confused, uninformed, misled, or never properly exposed to the message. And this is why the Quran repeatedly emphasizes Allah's perfect justice. Allah says, "And your Lord wrongs no one." Surah Al-Kahf 18:49. And Allah also says, "We never punish until we have sent a messenger." Surah Al-Isra 15. Meaning, Allah's judgment is never unfair, never emotional, never unjust. Every human being will be judged with complete knowledge, complete wisdom, and complete justice. Now here's something very interesting. The Quran actually praises certain people among the Ahlul Kitab, among the people of the book, even though they had not formally entered Islam at that time. Allah says, "They are not all the same. Among the people of the book is a community standing in obedience, reciting the verses of Allah during the night and prostrating." Surah Ali Imran 113. Look at how beautifully Allah speaks about them. Allah praises their sincerity, their worship, their honesty. And in another verse, Allah mentions that among them are people so trustworthy that if you entrusted them with treasures, they would return every single penny faithfully. This shows something very important. Allah judges people with absolute fairness and full knowledge of their hearts, not merely by labels. Because on the day of judgment, nobody will be able to fool Allah with appearances. Someone may publicly appear Muslim, yet reject Allah internally through arrogance, hypocrisy, oppression, or rebellion. And someone else may never have properly understood Islam, despite being sincere in seeking truth. And Allah knows the reality of every soul. The Quran even discusses Jews who did not follow Isa alayhi salam, yet Allah still used respectful and balanced language for certain among them. Why? Because human situations are complex. Sometimes, A sincere person simply never receives the message correctly. Maybe the truth was distorted before reaching them. Maybe they were raised with misconceptions. Maybe nobody explained Islam properly. Maybe they only encountered hatred instead of the beauty of faith. And this is why we must be very careful before speaking about people's final destination, because ultimate judgment belongs only to Allah, not to us. The Prophet Muhammad said in an authentic hadith, "Indeed, actions are judged by intentions." Sahih al-Bukhari, and Allah knows every intention, every circumstance, every struggle, every hidden thought. We only see the outside. Allah sees the entire reality. Now, this does not mean religion does not matter. It does not mean all beliefs are automatically equal. Islam teaches clearly that truth comes from Allah and that the final message was sent through Prophet Muhammad. Allah says, "Indeed, the religion in the sight of Allah is Islam." Surah Al-Imran 3:19, and Allah also says, "Whoever seeks a religion other than Islam, it will never be accepted from him." Surah Al-Imran 3:85. But the important question is, who truly rejected Islam after fully understanding it? And who never properly understood it in the first place? That final judgment belongs to Allah alone, and this balance is extremely important because some people become so harsh that they act as if they own paradise and hell themselves, while others go to the opposite extreme and say religion doesn't matter at all. The Quran teaches balance. Truth matters, faith matters, acceptance of Allah matters, but justice also matters. Intentions matter, knowledge matters, circumstances matter, and above all, Allah's mercy and wisdom are greater than our assumptions. The Prophet said, "Allah is more merciful to his servants than a mother is to her child." Sahih Muslim, just think about that for a moment. The one who created every heart, every mind, every human struggle, will judge humanity with perfect justice and perfect mercy. No human being will ever stand before Allah and be treated unfairly, not even for a moment. And honestly, this topic should also make Muslims reflect on themselves, because entering paradise is not about names and labels alone. A person can call themselves Muslim all their life, yet live in arrogance, dhulm, hypocrisy, dishonesty, and rebellion against Allah, and another person may spend their life sincerely searching for truth. Allah alone knows where every soul truly stands. That's why the Quran repeatedly warns believers not to become arrogant about their own salvation. In Surah An-Najm, Allah says, "So do not claim yourselves to be pure. He knows best who fears him." Surah An-Najm 53:32. Subhanallah. What a powerful reminder. We should focus less on declaring the fate of others and focus more on fixing our own hearts, because on the day of judgment, wealth won't matter, status won't matter, nationality won't matter. Allah says, "The day when neither wealth nor children will benefit, except one who comes to Allah with a sound heart." Surah Ash-Shu'ara 26:9. So the conclusion of this discussion is very simple. The Quran certainly condemns deliberate rejection of truth. Those who knowingly reject Allah after recognizing the truth are indeed held accountable, but not every non-Muslim can automatically be placed into that category by human beings. Allah alone knows who truly understood the message, who sincerely searched for truth, who rejected arrogantly, and who was genuinely unaware or confused. And on the day of judgment, Allah will judge every single human being with absolute justice, perfect wisdom, and perfect mercy. So instead of speaking arrogantly about who will enter paradise, perhaps we should focus on becoming sincere people ourselves, people of honesty, people of humility, people who genuinely seek Allah. Because in the end, nobody enters Jannah merely because of pride or labels. We enter by the mercy of Allah. May Allah guide us to truth, keep our hearts sincere, and make us among the people of Jannah.